Hello there, sir. How are you today, Matt?
Doing great, Jason.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to be here. Are you?
Always.
Yeah?
Yes.
Back for episode 2
Let's do it.
of our beautiful podcast. So that those who don't know, Justice University is a member of the NCCAA.
Yes.
Do you know what that stands for without looking?
Yeah, National Christian Collegiate Athletic Association.
Yes, exactly. So that is considered like an entry-level port for private Christian colleges, mostly Bible colleges, things like that.
Right.
It's the only of the conferences that shares religious affiliation as one of the criteria for being a member, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're a part of that. It gets a little even more messier than that, where we have some sports that are in what's called the Southwest States Conference, but a couple of sports that don't have that same conference affiliation.
Right.
And that's just because maybe all those schools don't have those sports, right? So I think one of those is women's soccer, for instance, where every school doesn't have a women's soccer program, so we end up, coach builds his own schedule with everybody else around. So,
right.
But we're still in the NCCAA,
yes.
just not that conference.
So they'll play you talked about winnable games or countable games, right? And so
hopefully all of them are winnable, right?
They're all winnable, but they're not all countable.
That's true.
Would you explain that?
So countable is, in order to make like national tournaments, regional tournaments, you have to have a certain number of games on your schedule that are countable, basically to prevent you from stacking the deck against lesser teams and scrimmaging and that sort of thing. But they play opponents that are at or above their level, and they make that a countable game. So a park would be both in the NAIA, which we'll talk about, but not in the NCCAA. And it's countable because they're above the conference that we're in terms of affiliation, right?
Now, when we have, like our girls' soccer will play some community colleges from around here, are those countable?
I think they're not, because junior colleges, I don't believe, fall under the countable umbrella, if I'm not mistaken. So they have to be, like I said, at or above the same type of institution as well. It can't be a 2-year school just as is a 4-year bachelor degree granting school. So I think it has to be that as well.
And there's still reason to schedule those games, right?
For sure.
To
especially early in the year.
Early in the year, scrimmages or really just to sharpen the skills of the players and things like that.
Yeah. You look at bigger schools, for instance, and you see there's what they call their non-conference schedule, right? And a lot of those end up being smaller schools because they're getting their rhythm, they're running plays against them. Obviously, you want to make it competitive still so that your team is growing through it, but those may not be countable when it comes time for a tournament or for something like that. So.
Well, like our basketball team, our men's team last year played a lot of early season games against like even D1 opponents. There were a few on there. And so it's our advantage to see what we have, and it's their advantage to get some confidence.
Absolutely.
We were the lesser opponent in their mind.
Absolutely. And I believe, and don't quote me on this, but I believe there's usually some sort of an incentive for the smaller school to come in and play, which is a great way to grow your program as a smaller school too. You get visibility, obviously, for recruiting, but there may even be some sort of a financial incentive or something to cover your travel expenses or whatever that was. So great experience. I know the guys last year had a great time going to, I think, they play Utah Tech and a couple of others.
Weber State, and they were on ESPN on one of them, ESPN 3, I think. But
ESPN Plus, right?
The Ocho.
Oh, the Ocho?
Just kidding.
Have they come up with the Nueve? Because that Ocho was a 90s reference or an early 2000s reference.
I think it's actually a thing to some level.
Is it really?
They made a joke out of it and made a thing out of it.
Well, ESPN joke. Ocho, if you're listening to this wonderful podcast, we're going to need you to come out and put us on your channel.
We would love to have a show on the Ocho.
Yeah, we'll even broadcast it for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We'll do you come to our game, you set it up, we'll broadcast it for you. You don't have to send your broadcasters. We'll handle it. That's
it. Hey, that sounds great.
Just televise it. It'd be great. So NCCAA, National Christian Colleges Association, Athletic Association. Something I found out in the researching part is that they actually have a shared mission, which is integrating faith with intercollegiate athletics. So not only is it restrictive in the sense of you must be a Christian university college or Bible college, but the mission is supposed to be that all the member schools are focused on those things.
Yeah, they have some really good mission statement things in what NCCAA likes to do. They have this program called King Chasing. They have a King Chasing Day. Not super familiar with what that means, but I know they have a lot of core values that they try to really push their schools towards, which I love that. I think that's neat.
Yeah, athletics is a lot more than, as part of the point of this podcast, is athletics is a lot more than just games on the field. It's leadership skills. It's
character building.
Yeah, for sure. So the next step above the NCCAA then would be the NAIA, which stands for National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. I'm glad we use acronyms. Those are
That's a mouthful.
Almost like National Christian Colleges Athletic Association.
Yeah, you can't say that fast in the broadcast.
No. So one thing we didn't touch on with the NCCAA that's common with the NAIA is scholarships. So you want to tell us a little about scholarships between those two?
Yeah, so if like NCCAA, as you were saying, Division One, which Justice is in, can offer athletic scholarships, and the lower divisions cannot.
There's only one other, Division Two.
Division Two cannot. Yes.
Correct. And then NAIA can offer scholarships as well.
Yes.
And they can actually split it amongst multiple athletes, so you don't have to say, like, here's a scholarship for this athlete. You can actually break it up among multiple athletes. But also, they don't have divisions like D1 and D2. They just have one single division, but they have different scholarship limits for each sport. So
I see.
I'm sure football has one scholarship amount, basketball has another, soccer would have another.
Now, I've known schools to play in both.
Yes.
NCCAA and NAIA. They kind of toggle between the two.
Yeah, you can dual enroll, which, little homer statement here. I was a little disappointed. The guys made national tournament last year, which was amazing for the men's basketball team. But they ended up playing a couple of schools that were dual enrolled and maybe were a little bit bigger and had a higher level of competition maybe than experience than we had. And we ended up, obviously not doing too well in that tournament, making it as fantastic in year 4 anyway. But I wish that maybe dual enrollment was a lesser thing.
Because those schools didn't make the NAIA national championship, so they defaulted to the NCCAA national championship, which they are bigger.
Yeah,
they're
some
bigger
of them.
schools,
Yeah, they're bigger. Yeah, for sure. I just like the NCCAA plays the same, level schools rather than having this up and down action. I love playing them during the season because you get the experience of playing a bigger school.
Right.
But in tournament play, it's just my personal belief. It should be like for like.
Right.
But,
I agree with that.
So NCCAA, so our next step, whenever that happens, would be NAIA then. That's what we would probably move into.
Yes. Maybe we would toggle a little bit.
Yeah, if that's still an allowable thing,
If
why
that's
not?
an allowable
right?
thing, why not?
Yeah. Or at least schedule games with schools we've been playing in the NCCAA, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the NCAA is the one everybody pretty much knows. March Madness, the tournament brackets, college football playoff, all those things. Those are all the NCAA.
Yeah. Division One, of course, is the biggest.
National Collegiate Athletic Association.
Yes.
So missing the intercollegiate something or other like the NAIA. But
Missing the Christian from the NCCAA.
yes. Although Christian schools can be in the NCAA.
True.
Like we see with GCU, TCU, Abilene Christian. There's a bunch of different ones that are out there. Baylor's not really, well, officially, are they? They're a Baptist school, but I don't know if they're.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah.
Schools that you're not sure if it's in the name, but is it in the mission statement still?
For sure. No shade to our friends at Baylor,
No
because
shade.
they probably do have something in there. We just don't know. But so D1 you mentioned is the big one. They also have D2 and D3. So for those people maybe in Arizona that follow Arizona sports, NAU would be in an NCAA school, but they're in a Division II component for their football program.
Right.
But they're Division I eligible for basketball. So it gets really messy in the way these things are set up. Because like NAU can make the college tournament in March, but they're not playing a regular season schedule full of, your Dukes and North Carolinas and people like that. So it's interesting how they have that set up. And then a lot of schools don't even have all the sports, right?
Right.
Justice, for instance, but we don't have football.
Well, and there's a lot of bigger schools that don't have football programs either.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, GCU is one that
Yes.
doesn't have football. But so you don't have to have all these sports to be in one conference or the other. It's just which conference are we going to be in for the sports we do have, right? So D2, D1, D2, D3. D3, I learned during the research program, or part of the program here, was they don't actually offer athletic scholarships in D3.
Right.
So most people in those ways may end up moving into playing in the NAIA if they're rather than a D3, because they might be able to get a scholarship that they could get in
That's
D3.
true. Or the athletes are on an academic scholarship.
Yeah, or need based. That would
Or
obviously
needs-based.
still.
Yeah.
That would still go. So all that to say, we focus mainly on the NCCAA, a little bit on the NAIA. Maybe one day we'll get to the NCAA level. But for right now, it's fun to watch. So some of the schools that we play within the NCCAA then would be, give me some examples of people we've seen the last couple of years.
So we have seen Bethesda.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen West Coast Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen Nelson.
Yep.
Who is kind of our
crosstown rival.
Crosstown
right?
rival. Yep.
Don't give them bulletin board material, okay? If anybody listens to this, we don't want to let them know they're our rival, do we?
Rivalry is good for sports.
But
That's
we
my
saw it in
opinion.
the tournament last year for the basketball tournament. You know, they ended up winning that, didn't they? Nelson?
I think so. Yeah.
So
I don't want to admit it, but yes, they did.
They did. But, you know, they've been around how long? Let's just say that. Not 4 years like us. Probably a lot longer than that.
Right. Their name is new, but
Yes. The school's been around a long time.
The school's been around for a little bit. And we do have some transfers from there and some transfers to there.
Yep.
So there is that. And that builds the rivalry, too. I think it really does.
Yeah, nobody likes to play harder than when they go back to their previous place of playing. That's from college to the pros.
Oh, that's true.
Show them up what they're missing, right?
That's it. A little bit extra, adrenaline pumping for those matches.
Yeah. So also Stanton,
I was about to say
one.
Stanton. I think that's one.
And then we played Benedictine. I don't think they're in the NCCAA. They're NAIA, but they're another crosstown that we play. Benedictine University of Mesa,
Benedictine, right? Yeah. SLCC.
Yes. Southern. Right? It's SCLA, right?
SC.
It's Southern California Leadership Academy, I think, maybe, or Leadership University, SCLU.
That sounds right.
That's right. Yes. We should probably have a list of these in front of us right now, huh?
I
don't think we're doing badly for winging it.
We have phones. We have computers at our fingertips.
That's
and
true.
Here we are, winging it, just going for it, which is kind of how we do things here at Justice University.
Well, it's a new school, so you're building the advantage of being a part of it now is you get to kind of build the culture and you build how things are done. So some maybe bigger colleges people have heard of. Dallas Baptist University is another NCCAA school. Southern Wesleyan. We haven't played them, but they do fall into the NCCAA.
Now, there's also Lincoln.
Yes.
Now, Lincoln's interesting, right? Because I don't believe it is a faith-based college.
I think it has to be in the NCCAA.
Does it? Okay.
But can we...
But they're in our conference, but I don't think they're in the NCCAA.
Right, and I think that's a good thing. Maybe when we interview Coach BJ specifically, when the basketball season's getting underway, maybe we can talk to him about kind of how the conference is made up and where some schools came from. But, yeah, we have seen Lincoln come. A lot of California schools, obviously, a lot of Arizona schools. New Mexico Tech, was that the other one?
I think so.
They came here and played as well. So the NAIA, let's talk about that real quick. NAIA, we play a lot of those because they're near our competition, and there's several of them here locally in town. Park University, Ottawa, Arizona Christian University is another one. Okay. So we see a lot of these NAIA teams as well, and I think we compete pretty well with them. So what do you think the advantage is of kind of being in the NCCAA at this point for our school?
Well, I think conference play is good because it's talent levels comparable. Mm-hmm. I think for one, and we've got room to grow. It's like buying like a shirt for your kid a little bit big, right? So they can grow into it. And,
for sure.
And I think we got a little bit of that, but we've grown into this conference. I think we're up at the top every year now with basketball, especially as a favorite to compete for the title.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think men's soccer as well. I know they battle, them and Stanton battle.
Yeah.
Each year now, and so and our other programs are growing too. I think volleyball has taken a lot of leaps in the last year, especially. So, Lion Loyal, I like that.
Lion Loyal. We should almost brand that.
Now.
That should be our student section.
Now, do you think our female sports program should be lionesses or lions?
You know what? I had this discussion last year with one of the coaches, and they said that the girls preferred it. I'm sorry, the women preferred it as lions regardless, not lionesses. But, I'm sure everybody has their own opinion. Every player probably thinks differently. But right now we've been
in the animal kingdom, the lionesses are fierce.
They are. They're the hunters.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, they're the hunters.
The guys just lay there and wait for the food to come back, Kind of like what I do at home. Yeah. Y'all should see Matt. He's really loving the.
He set himself up there. That was great. That'd be great. I'm excited for the new energy on campus.
Yep.
We have more students
Yep.
than we've had before, so that's exciting.
We have a different makeup as well because now we have men's baseball. So there's
We
a lot
do.
of baseball players on campus here, and a lot of non-athletes from what I'm hearing too that have come to join
Which
the
is
Lion
great.
faithful here.
I've
Lion loyal.
I've found our students who are not athletes have been just as much so a part of the Lion Loyals. I love seeing them come out and support their classmates and come into the games. We've got a great student section here. I think that especially in the gym sports, you see them packing the gym out. It's going to be exciting to see how that grows throughout this season as we add baseball. How that's going to be an addition as well.
Hey, guess what, Lion Loyal? I'm going to stick with that. See, the more I hit it, the more it's going to land here. So, guess what, Lion Loyal? Our soccer field and our baseball are going to have a lot more room than our basketball gym does. So while you're already packing out that basketball and volleyball games, you got even more of you that can come to the other games because there's more space.
BYOC, bring your own chair. Bring a camp chair.
BYOU, bring your own umbrella.
Yeah,
it's
bring your own shade.
A little warm. Yeah.
Yes, please
BYOS.
do. Yes.
Well, we thank you for joining us again on the Prof G and Shively Next Play podcast, episode 2. Well done again, sir. Did a fantastic job today, if I do say so
Back
myself.
at you. Thank you for driving.
Driving,
It's been
yes.
a crazy
That's what
ride.
they say in the biz.
I've had to hold on to the handle the whole time, but we've made it.
That's what
So
they
it's
say
good.
in the biz. We're going to learn these biz terminologies.
We are.
Like I learned about XLR cables. This is an XLR cable. For those of you that are watching it on YouTube, you can see it. But I'm learning all kinds of stuff through this.
Love that.
But thanks for joining us again. We'll look forward to seeing you guys out at the field. And you got a tagline of it this time? We got to come up with something.
Yeah. Lion Loyals.
Go Lions, right?
Go Lions.
All right.